Hello again, word lovers, and in this instalment we're going to look at Latin, which has survived from Latin times into modern English and is now used almost exclusively in legal terminology. There is a fashion in English law to deliberately mispronounce Latin, so I'll be using the legal pronunciation, if you can call it that. Bona fide is the legal pronunciation and was originally used in the stock exchange in the 1770s, meaning a good thing, bonus, good, useful, working, from earlier Proto-Italic dw-eno, also good, probably coming from pi originally, do, to do, to show favour. If you commit a crime with a guilty mind, you're doing it with mens rea. We've seen the pi root of men before, men meaning to think, mental, mind. Caveat emptor is a legal term and a good warning, which I pass on here. Let the buyer beware. De facto and de jure, which was probably de jure, as Latin simply didn't have a J. So justice was justitia, jus was right. That goes all the way back to Proto-Indo-European as well, use. Habeas corpus, an important legal concept. You have the body. That word corpus, again from a pi root, kwrep, body or form. And Latin has given us many useful phrases to use in philosophical and legal arguments, or even statistics, as in the case of post hoc ergo propter hoc, meaning it was after that thing, so it was because of that thing, and is a fallacy. I think most people know Descartes' most famous contribution to philosophy in Latin, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. Latin survives in mottos, of course. Through difficulties to the stars is the motto of the Royal Air Force. Audere est facere. That would be Tottenham Hotspur. To dare is to do. Nothing but the best. Nothing is satisfying except the optimal. Nil satis nisi optimum is Everton Football Club. And we'll just put a few more legal words under the etymological magnifying glass out of pure interest. Affidavit means he has sworn. Innuendo means by nodding with the head. Subpoena, you wouldn't guess from the pronunciation, but you can see from the spelling, Subpoena, under penalty. Non compos mentis, not of a composed mind, mutated into an insult, which we saw in the insults instalment. Nincompoop. A veto simply means I forbid. In camera is in secret. Camera goes back to Greek and no further as far as I can see, and means a vaulted chamber, an enclosed space, which is why a photo camera is also a camera, and we get the word chamber from there as well. A post-mortem is after death. The pi root there for the death word is mer, meaning to rub away. And some more highbrow expressions now, which are still in use. Things like inter alia, meaning amongst other things. Ipso facto, by that fact alone. In extremis, in extreme conditions. In flagrante, in compromising conditions. People might say an onus instead of a burden or a load. That's from Latin, the pi, enis, a burden, becoming a cart or a wagon in Sanskrit. A sine qua non is a condition, a without which not. This qua for question words also goes right back to pi, quo being the stem of a lot of such pronouns. And the without bit, sene, in the written Latin was sine, is a more formal way of saying said, it seems. Pi root sene, separated. And while we're here, let's look at the non part. These are sometimes the most simple or the most interesting. You have to dig quite far. Ne oinom is the pi root here. Ne, not. This seems to be common in the languages that I know, with the exceptions of Arabic. Ne is a negative start to a word. Oino would mean one or unique. So no seems to be differentiating something from other things, whereas the un root seems to mean the absence of something, but this is more philosophy than etymology. Let's speak more clearly. We need lingua franca was Latin for many years, but it means the French tongue, the Frankish to be more accurate. Lingua is tongue, from a Pi root which I daren't pronounce, something like dnghu, becoming lingua in Latin, and thereby, as in many languages, language is equivalent to tongue. In the Pi root, you can see the divergence. Dnghu could mutate to lingu, something like that, whereas another root, nghu, might go to tongue. I can sort of see that. MO has become fashionable suddenly, meaning modus operandi, the way somebody works, their way of doing things. And we've got a host of abbreviations for written English. NB in capitals, nota bene, pay attention. Ibid or ibid, meaning similarly. Passim, meaning we've referred to this various times in the past. Sicut, very useful. SIC, the abbreviation, meaning this is the way it was. So if you quote somebody and that person made a mistake, you repeat the mistake, but put sic in brackets after to indicate that you're aware of that mistake, saying that's the way it was. Vis, you see sometimes, meaning vide licet. So that would be vision license, if you like, a license to see, permission to see. And there are so many others. I could be here all night. Let's do one more. E.g., exempla gratia, etc., et caetera, and the rest.